Hello everyone, my name is Margaret Woods and I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm a singer and I'm a voice teacher. Today's series is all about tips and tricks to get your voice back in shape for singing. So many of us have been home during this pandemic without being able to go to voice lessons, without being able to sing with our beloved choirs. And so I'm hoping that this video will bring you a few ideas and exercises to get your voice in tip-top shape and ready for this summer full of singing. This exercise is something that I did with my very first voice teacher when I was probably 16 or 17 years old. It helps with feeling an expansion downwards as you breathe in. As we're getting our voice and our body and our mind ready to sing coming out of this pandemic, this is a great exercise to remember to breathe low. So grab a really heavy book. I picked the stories of great operas. It's the Metropolitan Opera Freeman book. I grabbed it off my shelf. I don't know that I've ever opened this, but it's heavy and it'll work. Find a place to lay on the floor, whether it's a yoga mat, a Pilates mat, or just your carpet in your living room will work. We're gonna lay on our backs. You're gonna take the book and you're gonna place it on your lower abdominals. So make sure that the book is far enough away from your rib cage so that it's not up here really high above the belly button, but actually on the belly button or below. And so what you're going to do is just lay flat, allow your legs to relax, allow your arms to relax, and just take a normal breath. So here we go. Breathe in and exhale. Take another breath in and exhale. This time, as we take a breath in, we want to raise the book. So you'll notice that the upper abs are going to move outwards. You also want the book to move outwards. So we're really focusing on moving the book, taking focus away from the rib cage and the upper abdominal muscles. So as we take that breath in, we're going to raise the book and then exhale. Gently let the book go back down. Great work. All right, take one more breath in. And then exhale. What this does is it brings awareness to the lower abdominals. When we take in a good breath, we do want to feel that the rib cage opens up and that the belly comes outwards, especially the lower abdominal muscles. Often we get stuck in breathing very high. So on a floor position like this, you're going to get the feedback from the floor against your shoulders and your back to feel, oh, I'm pulling up when I'm breathing. Or are you expanding down and out as you take a breath? It can also bring some sensation awareness to those of you that are back breathers. So if you take a breath in, you can kind of feel that your breath or the back is pushing into the floor a little bit. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody is going to feel that. This time, we're going to keep the book here. We're going to take a breath in, raise the book up. And what I'd like you to do is just monitor the lowering of the book. So you want it to lower slowly. This is the first exercise that we're going to do. I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. So in the first exercise, we're just going to sing on an E. We're going to breathe in. E. Try that with me. So I'm monitoring how fast or how quickly the book is moving back in. For a lower breath, we want to monitor how the book is moving back down. We want it to be slowly and not immediate or quick. If it moves quickly, the breath is leaving the body too fast. The other way that you can do this, and this works for some students and some students it doesn't, you're going to take a breath in and you're going to hold the book up. So keeping the book from descending down slowly, but rather we're just going to kind of let it hover. So we're going to inhale. Try that with me. Inhale. This is a great way to get your voice hooked up to your breath and to remind your body to release for the inhale, so that when you're taking that breath in, you're breathing low down into the body, allowing the abdominals to go out. So try those two variations. Remember, the first is taking a breath in, raising the book, and then letting the book come in very, very slowly. So we're monitoring how fast the abdominal is coming down with the book as we sing. The second way to do this, and it doesn't work for everybody, I personally like this version because it helps me feel anchored and it takes away any concentration up here at the larynx. And so you're gonna breathe in, and then you're gonna keep the book out as though it's hovering as you sing the exercise, and then you can release and take a new breath. Try this on some of the exercises that we're going to do following this breathing warm-up. Do you struggle with feeling any kind of awareness, sensation awareness around your rib cage or in the lower abdominals? I have a trick for you. Grab an exercise band or of any kind, or you can grab a pair of pantyhose. I don't know if anybody has these around. And you can take it and you're gonna wrap it around the lower part of your rib cage. So first I would take your hands, put them on the side, and see if you can find where the lower rib cage resides. So here is kind of the upper rib cage for me. I'm gonna take my fingers and just kind of push in until I find it. You can kind of move side to side to kind of see where your waistline is, where that final rib is. And then you're gonna take the band and put it around the lower rib cage. I'm just gonna tie this one. And all we're gonna do is breathe. This is a great breathing exercise for those of you that need a little bit more help feeling that kind of down and out breath. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a breath in, and you're gonna breathe into the band and then exhale. Take another breath in, and then exhale. I'll show you what it looks like from the side. I'm gonna take a breath in and exhale. This is a great exercise to get the breath down into the body, to resist pulling up, because this kind of tight band around the waist or around the lower rib cage is going to help you feel whether or not you're taking this kind of clavicular breath where it's very high and you're pulling up. Remember, when we take a breath in, we want to feel released, and we want to feel that it goes down and out into the body. So I'll show it with the pantyhose as well, for those of you that get a kick out of seeing some pantyhose. I don't think I've worn these in forever. So you can do the same thing, and this is maybe a little bit more gentle than an exercise band. That was pretty tight on me. This one's a lot more gentle. You can also use a long sleeve t-shirt. All of those things will work. So we're gonna take another breath in, and then exhale. This time, we're just gonna sing a 5-note scale. We'll go E. We're gonna breathe in, feel the rib cage expand, and then as we sing, we wanna feel that we're keeping the band outwards. E. Then we're gonna let it go in. Take a breath in. E. Let's go up. Breathe in. E. If you're not somebody that wants to feel or that wants to feel the rib cage open or expand, that's not for everybody. You might want to take the pantyhose or the exercise band and put it a little lower on our abdominals. So I'm going to show you an exercise right after this to, again, encourage low breathing into the body. This is just one of many tools you can use. You may not like this one. That's totally okay. You may like the next exercise. So try it. I'm here to just show you some tips and tricks on how to get the breath low into the body and to feel that the rib cage expands, that the abdomen releases outwards as we take that breath in. Let me know how it goes. One of my favorite singing tools to use is the beloved straw. So if you have a drinking straw handy, go grab it. I'm going to show you a few ways to use the straw to help get your breathing activated, engaged, and ready for you to use for singing. So we're going to take a breath in through the straw on a count of 4. exhale. This creates a little bit of resistance so that you have to really concentrate on bringing air into the body and taking a full, low breath. Let's do that again. Breathe in. And then exhale. Very good. Another way we can use the straw is not just for the inhale, but for the exhale. What I'd like you to do now is we're gonna blow puffs of air through the straw, 5 in a row. So here we go. Breathe in. Did you feel anything in your body move or engage or activate? For me, I felt my lower abdominals kicking in. I could feel my body really working to get that breath out. Let's try it one more time. Inhale. Really well done. If you feel that the breath is kind of weak or that you're really struggling with getting the air out, maybe you need a bigger straw, or you can remove the straw entirely and just do 5 puffs of air. So here we go. Let's try it without the straw. Inhale. Excellent. If you're a visual person and you want a little bit of feedback to see how fast that breath is moving, grab a sticky note or a small piece of paper, and we're going to do our 5 puffs. So inhale. Try it again. Breathe in. I like the short puffs of air because it takes a lot of energy to send a fast stream of air out of the straw. I like the sticky note because it gives you a visual. Is the breath moving fast enough in order to move the paper? Make sure you use a small piece of paper. A large one might not bend with the breath. The last thing I want to do is a slow, steady stream through the straw. We did our 5 puffs. So now what we're going to do is we're going to exhale, bend the paper, just as though we're doing our 5 puffs, but it's going to be a continuous breath. So here we go. Breathe in. Be careful that you don't blow out too much air or too little. You'll see that the paper is not moving at all. You want to balance that breath so that you have just enough to bend the paper and enough to last for at least 5 or 6 counts. So let's try it one more time. You're going to breathe in. Remember that low breath, letting the abdominals come out, letting the rib cage expand, letting the body relax. And then as we exhale, we're going to control that breath stream so that we can last at least 5 or 6 counts bending our piece of paper. Take a breath in. Do this a little bit every day. Practice doesn't make perfect, but it definitely makes prepared. So when doing breathing exercises, it's good to take the singing component away for a little bit so that you can really feel the breath coming into the body and then the breath leaving the body. Continuing on with the straw, grab your straw and a cup of water. We're going to put the straw in the water and we're going to do a little bit of a laryngeal massage. That's what I like to call it. This is a great way to warm the voice up. And if you're in a place where you can't make a ton of noise, this helps to kind of diffuse the resonance and the loudness of the singing. So it's a great way to get your voice warmed up without maybe bothering people around you or somebody in your apartment. It's also a fabulous cool down. So if you've been in rehearsal all day, or if you've done a really long concert, this is a great way to cool the voice down, to help everything kind of relax and release before you go about the rest of your day and evening. So what we're gonna do is we're first just gonna blow bubbles into the cup. Nice, gentle bubbles. So if you're blowing too hard or releasing too much air, the water is probably going to come out of your cup. And if you're not sending enough breath energy into the straw, you're going to notice that the bubbles are not coming out or they're very, very inconsistent. So if you're getting that nice steady stream of air and that nice exhale through the straw, you're going to feel that the abdominals engage. You're going to feel that connection to that column of air. So the first thing I'd like to do, we're going to sing into this straw. We're just going to do a slide ooh, into the straw. Here we go. Breathe in. You want to make sure that the sound is gentle and that the bubbles aren't coming up out of the cup. It also helps if the cup isn't super full. I drank most of the water out of this so that there were room for the bubbles. If you fill it up to the top and then you try to do this, the water is going to come out over. Also, I shouldn't have to say this, but I've done it myself as a reminder. Don't breathe in through your straw. Make sure that you breathe in and then you sing through the straw. Try this on a couple of different exercises. You can even do octaves. And you can use this in your choral music. So if you're having an issue with a tricky passage, try singing it through the straw first and then putting it back into the text and the words. Good luck. In my last video, I showed you one of my favorite voice warm-ups. It was called the Cuperto exercise, the one where we had our tongue out for ah, and then we sang that descending scale on an oo. I'm gonna teach you a new one. It's called giggity gaggity goo. It's a different tongue exercise, and no, you don't have to stick your tongue out this time. It sounds like this. Giggity gaggity goo. Try it with me. 1, 2, ready, go. Giggity gaggity goo. 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 Keep going. Giggity gaggity goo. 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 2 more. Giggity gaggity goo. Giggity gaggity goo. This exercise is great for getting the tongue up and out of the throat, and you have to work on feeling the openness in the back of the mouth with the giggity gaggity with the G's. It also really helps if you're having trouble with breathiness to get the folds to come together really cleanly. So all around, it's a fabulous articulation exercise. Do this one every day, and I bet you're gonna have great articulation success in your next rehearsal. As singers, we are so obsessed with the idea of open throat. It's a mystery. I've had students that have sung in competitions and people have written on their sheets, you need to sing with a more open throat. It's pretty nondescript for a beginning singer. So an exercise that I love to help you feel that kind of open and wide sensation in the back is called the hung-ah. So for an NG, the tongue is actually really high and we do want it to be nasal. And then when we open to the ah, the palate's gonna lift, the tongue's gonna relax, and we're gonna feel all of this space. So we're gonna sing hung-ah. I switched into my chest voice. I'm starting in a reasonable level. G above middle C. So you might hear me flip down into chest. You can do the same if you're also a treble voice. For my lower tenor, bass, baritone voices, you're gonna start at the G below middle C, going down to your C. So here we go, breathe in. Do it without me. you'd like to. This is a tongue position that's a really practical way. It's not a tongue position, but it's a really practical way of getting the tongue position a little bit more forward, bringing the tongue out of the back of the pharynx or the throat, and getting it to be a little bit more supple and a little bit more relaxed so that we're not letting it go back and choke our sound. Notice that when I opened to the ah, and even when I did the hung, that my jaw was released, that my cheeks were soft, and that I allowed space between my teeth. Pay attention to what you're doing in your exercise. Practice in front of a mirror so that you can see, oh, my mouth is closed. My teeth are together. You want to find a little bit of relaxation in the embouchure before you start these exercises. It should be no surprise that one of my favorite warm-ups for singers is singing a solfege scale. I make all of my beginning students do it. I make all of my professional students do it. I make all of my collegiate students do it, and I definitely make all of my adult students do it. It's important because it helps to teach you the relationship between pitches, and in order to do successful vocal exercises, you really need to understand the relationship of notes to each other in a major scale and a minor scale. Now, I'm not going to make you do the hand signs, but you're more than welcome to try them. I'm going to send along a little worksheet that you can use to help you learn solfege. The syllables are do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now, if you're like, oh, there's no way I'm going to remember that, write it down and put it in front of you. If you know and love the sound of music, do, a deer, a female deer, re, a drop of golden sun. It's associated with the solfege scale. So if you sing that song, I'll be happy with that too. But we're going to start with the major scale. The reason I really like solfege is not just for its musical components, but also for its diction components. It combines our cardinal vowels, e, a, o, along with voiced and unvoiced consonants. A voiced consonant is one that we use our vocal folds for. An unvoiced consonant is one that we do not use our vocal folds for. An example of an unvoiced consonant is t, p, k, t, p, and k. Voiced consonants would be d, 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 do, mi, and la, 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 l. So D, M, and L. Those are just a few examples. So we're going to sing a solfege scale. Major first. Each solfege syllable is going to get 2 beats. Really concentrate on the purity of the vowel and sustaining the sound all the way to the top of the scale. We're going to take a breath and then come backwards. So here we go. Breathe in. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Breathe in. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Great. Let's go a little faster. 1, 2, ready, go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And then you can make it a goal to do it on a vowel. Let's try E. Then you can speed it up and do it all on one vowel in one breath, going ascending and descending. 1, 2, ready, go. Well done. That's our major scale. Now, yes, you do have to learn the minor because so much of music is also in a minor key. I'm going to teach you the natural minor. Do, re, mi, lowered third, fa, sol, la, ti, do. A little different than our major. Our mi is now may, our la is now lay, and our ti is now te. So just be my echo. Do, re, mi. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. try go. Sole, sol. Try that one again. Sole, sol. Sole, te. Sole, te, do. You try go. Great. Let's do a natural minor scale going up and coming down. 1, 2, ready, go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Well done. Then you can do the same thing that we did with our major scale, singing it on a vowel. So I'm going to pick ooh. 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 So the purpose of the solfege scale is for good musicianship, tuning your scales, diction, and also switching between major and minor. If you're someone that does like the hand symbols, this is how I do May. And then lay is just even more laud. That's how I like to consider it. And te, instead of it being T pointing up, te is pointing down. Give this a try. And I think you'll be really surprised at how much better you are at singing scales and vocal exercises when you've trained yourself to sing a major scale or a natural minor scale. Do you feel that your sound is a little woofy or too far back, or do you feel like it's really, really nasal? I have a little trick for you to help focus that resonance and that beauty of tone through the oral space and out of the mouth. What you're gonna do is actually just pinch your nose closed as such, and we're gonna sing the syllables la, le, li, lo, lu. Tip of tongue flicks against the upper back teeth for la, le, li, lo, lu. Let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, go. La, le, li, lo, lu. 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 What this does is it keeps the resonance and the air from leaking into the nasal cavity. So often voice teachers talk about feeling resonance in the mask, but what they're talking about is actually feeling sympathetic vibrations out of the cheekbones and the top teeth. It's not nasality. So by pinching the nose closed, you might feel a little pressure in the back. Try and direct that breath out of the mouth rather than letting it feel like it's pushing up this way. It also helps with feeling kind of a lift of the soft palate. So if you're somebody that sings with a little bit of collapsed space in the back, allowing that pinch of the nose can really help you focus the breath energy and the sound out of the front of the mouth. I hope you found these tips and tricks to be really helpful in getting your voice back in shape to sing. If you want any more exercises or a personal evaluation by me, feel free to sign up for a voice lesson with me through Berkshire, or you can go to my website at margaretwoodsoprano.com and you can contact me through there. I would love to hear you sing. My piece of advice before you go is to make sure that A, you take care of your voice, but B, you are singing all the time. Sing every day. 5 minutes is better than no minutes at all. It's important to use your voice frequently, because if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. So do short little practice sessions. When you're making eggs in the morning, you're doing your solfege scale. While you're getting ready, you're working on that deep breath. For me, as a professional singer, and I do a lot of recitals and concerts, I will go over my words while I'm walking to my office or while I am taking a run. It's a quick way for me to kind of get a little vocal workout in and some practicing in without it having to be me sitting down at a piano and working for an hour. Short practice sessions are ideal, and singing frequently. and sing with a group that you love. Join a choir, join 2 choirs, join 3 choirs, take a few voice lessons with a beloved teacher and friend, sing for a nursing home, sing for friends and family. Whatever you do, continue to use your voice because this world needs more singing. That's it for this time. I hope to see you again soon. And what's a Berkshire video without MJ, the singing opera dog? As you can imagine, it's been very difficult teaching at home with such a fine singer in my house. My husband and I have had to put him in our back office so that if I'm doing warm-ups with a singer, he can't hear it and he can't join in. Although my younger students have really gotten a kick out of him, especially sopranos. He loves sopranos. So MJ is still singing. You don't have to worry. He's being well taken care of, and he continues to use his voice every day.